sitting and listening to me today. So imagine you're on a beach vacation, like we are, and imagine you're playing a game of volleyball with your family. As we all know from experience, there are a lot of imminent catastrophes that can happen here, such as sprained wrists, twisted ankles, and the like. So in a scenario like this, the injured person is going to need first aid, and depending on the severity, this could actually be the only treatment that is necessary, and you can provide it. To tend to these kind of injuries, you use a technique called RICE, which is an acronym and not a delicious carb-loaded side. I'm sorry if I disappointed any of you. And all this information comes straight from the American Heart Association, from which I received my first aid certification, so if you have any questions at the end, I could probably answer them. Now, RICE stands for rest, ice, compression, and elevation. It sounds easy because it is, but I'm going to talk about it in a little more depth. So the first step is our rest. Continued use after the injury can delay the healing and even worsen it sometimes. It can actually increase the pain. I don't know if you've ever sprained or twisted anything, but it's not fun. So experts recommend about 24 to 48 hours of rest after the incident. Really what you're looking for is almost complete to complete return range of motion, as well as almost complete to complete disappearance of pain, basically. So after that, after you reach this stage, moderate activities are recommended in order to promote healing. And now that we've instructed our subject to go ahead and take it easy, we can move on to the next step, which is ice. It rhymes with rice, it's not hard to remember. The application of ice will not only help your subject feel better, but it will also take down the swelling. The cold compresses your blood and lymph vessels. It helps reduce pain by eliminating the heat as well as the pressure from that aforementioned swelling. Now, you don't have to use ice. You can use frozen vegetables. You can use peas, carrots, corn, it doesn't matter. You can eat it later for dinner that night if you want. But no matter what you use, there are a couple of precautions you need to take, such as wrapping it in a towel, paper towel, whatever you have. If you apply it directly, it can cause frostbite to the person you're treating. Second thing, try not to ice anything for more than 20-minute periods, because prolonged exposure to the cold can actually further your tissue damage, and you don't want that. So, once you finish that 15 to 20 minute period of icing, you can go ahead and remove the ice from the affected area, and then we will journey on through the acronym to C, compression, in which you wrap the affected area with a medical bandage. This isn't a medical bandage, but it's for demonstration purposes. So let's say you have a sprained wrist, you would start underneath the knuckles, and experts recommend wrapping from the hands towards the elbow for the best reduction of swelling. If you don't have a clip or tape, you can tuck it or tie it. Be really careful not to wrap anything too tight, because if you do, it will reduce circulation and the person's hand could potentially fall off. So signs that you've wrapped it too tight include numbness, tingling, or the skin being clammy to the touch. There could also be increased swelling, increased pain, which isn't fun, you'll probably find out right away. And if the nail beds turn blue after a while, you do want to keep an eye out for that. That means that the loss of circulation is actually pretty bad, so please redo your bandaging looser. But if the appendage has not begun to fall off and die, you're doing it right, and you can continue to the last step, which is E, elevation. In this step, all you're doing is keeping the affected area above the heart level. So say, again, the wrist. Just like this. You can best do it with pillows, propping, your leg, your hand, whatever, up on a pillow. And basically what this does is keep the blood from pooling in the affected area, and it keeps the blood in your circulation throughout the rest of your body. This will help reduce the swelling as well as the pain. So after that, you're done. You've utilized RICE, you've saved the day for your volleyball team, and you can play again in that 24 to 48 hours. So just to briefly review the process, rest, ice, compression, elevation are the steps in this method. Remember this because you can use it on most minor injuries like sprains and twists. If you're unsure of the specific injuries, or if you think it's more serious than this, maybe even a break, go ahead and call your local emergency services, because it's better to be safe than sorry. But in this scenario, you can be the one to help the injured person and save them a lot of money on medical bills, which I promise they will appreciate because they're expensive. Thank you.